What's going on, basketball fans? Welcome back into Talkin Grizz, our off-season edition. We're talking drafts. We're doing our mock draft. We're talking prospects. So joining me now, representing the New Orleans Pelicans, is Will Guillory, the Pelicans beat writer for The Athletic. Will, welcome back. How are you?
I'm doing well. I appreciate you for having me on.
I appreciate you coming on. Let's talk about another top 10 pick. This is the third year in a row that the Pelicans have a top 15 pick. So obviously Zion 2 years ago, Kyrgios Jr. last year, top 10 pick this year. The Pelicans need some kind of shooter is what I've been hearing around town because Zion attempts everything in the paint in order to space that out. They need to get someone who is able to space the floor. Do you think that is the biggest piece that's missing from this Pelicans team, or do you see it as something different?
Yeah, there's no question. We know Zion's probably the most dominant paint scorer in the league right now. It's either him or Giannis Antetokounmpo. And to see how much he was able to control the game at the rim last year, and still the Pels were bottom 5 in three-pointers made, bottom 5 and three-point percentage. I mean, they just got to be much better in that area of the game, just being more of a threat offensively, being able to make defenses pay. Because you saw how they were checking Zion last year. They're throwing 3-4 people at him to keep him out of the paint. So there's wide open shots available. They just need to get people in the building who can make those shots. So, yeah, I think that's the number one goal with that 10th pick, is to get somebody who can make those shots and just add some versatility to the lineup. I think they were a little small in certain lineups, and I think just getting more size overall, I think, will help as well.
Okay, some names floating around. Obviously, Corey Kispert is a good shooter. Jalen Johnson is that versatile big that maybe you need. So what do you think, if you had to pick your top maybe 2 or 3 guys, that the names that kind of fit in that number 10 pick for the Pelicans this year, who are you thinking?
I think the top guys for me on my list were probably Corey Kispert and Moses Moody. Kispert out of Gonzaga, a guy, played 4 years, played with a bunch of stars at Gonzaga, knows how to fit around high-volume scores, just understands how to play the game. I just like the way he views the game. He understands space and how to find those open areas on the three-point line. I just really love the way he plays the game. Reminds me a lot of Joe Harris from Brooklyn. I think if he can be that kind of player next to Zion, I think that'll be huge. Just having somebody who can knock down those open shots, making a couple plays in transition, I think that'll be really good. And Moses Moody, man, I just think he's one of the most fearless shooters. He might not be as efficient as Kispert, but that dude will take any shot you give him. He'll shoot it right in your face. He'll shoot fadeaways, whatever.
Mission threes, like
he don't care. He got the green light at all times, and I love that about Moody. So yeah, I think those are the 2 guys I would probably put in at number 10 as the top of my list. But I think the good thing about this draft, I think there are a lot of good prospects. I think if you land anywhere in the top 15, you got a chance to land at somebody good. I just think it's a matter of the right fit, right situation. But I think those are the 2 guys I would have at the top of my list.
All right. So big into shooters then, because I know a lot of the time when we talked, even last year, it was like maybe you go for top talent rather than maybe fit. But like you said, I think this draft is so deep that if you're able to find someone who's talented, like a Kispert, like a Moody, who also fits the needs, it's like a win-win situation.
Yeah, best of both worlds for sure.
Best of both worlds. Okay, we're going to put you on the clock. Will Guillory, are you ready?
I am ready.
Okay, for everyone at home, I'm going to put up what our mock draft looks like right now. Will, you see the guys that you can no longer pick. Unfortunately, one of those 2 guys that you like is out. Let's do it. You are representing the Pelicans, and at the number 10 draft pick, they choose.
It really hurts my heart to not have Moses Moody here, just because I just would like to see what type of crazy shots he's going to take next year. But with the number 10 pick, William Guillory is selecting for the New Orleans Pelicans. I got to go my man, Corey Kispert. Just like I said, I think he's the best shooter in this draft. I think he's going to know how to play next to Zion and B.I. And that guy, I think he's going to step into the league and know exactly how to play. With so many of these rookies, we see it takes them some time to figure out how they fit, how to play in this league compared to what they did in college. I think Corey is going to step in and be exactly who he was at Gonzaga, just a shooter, a guy who can play in those open areas of the court. I think he would be a really good pick for the Pels at number 10 and finally give him somebody who can knock down some shots. I saw last year so many times guys catching open shots and bricking them for the Pels. Hopefully that can change next year.
Yeah. Corey is this 22-year-old. He's big, so he's got size, like you were talking about before. Probably one of the best shooters in this class in college last year. And he is taking workouts with a whole bunch of teams because I feel like a lot of teams, he's going to move up in that draft board. Earlier he wasn't projected necessarily to be top 10, but I think with these workouts, people are like, oh, like, no, he's a really good shooter. And like you said, that's exactly what the Pelicans need. So I'm sorry that you couldn't get Moses, but I think Corey's a
little heartbroken, but Corey's a nice consolation prize. I'll take it.
All right. Well, thank you so much for your analysis. We love having you on the show. Hopefully we can do it again sometime soon.
Absolutely. I always love coming on. I appreciate it.
All right. And Grizzlies fans, we'll be back with more draft coverage on grindsteinmedia.com.